Can anyone challenge Steph Curry and the Warriors? Are the Cavs the favorites in the East? Who's the first pick of the NFL draft? And what are we expecting out of Tech baseball team this season? Find out next. MCTV Sports 101 starts now. Welcome to MCTV Sports 101. I'm Kyle Stafford.
And I'm Billy Ingle.
The Golden State Warriors are currently 54-5 and on a mission to break the 95-96 Chicago Bulls record of 72 wins. Billy, can Golden State get to 73 wins, and does any team pose a threat to them in the playoffs?
You know, I definitely think that they can get to 73 wins this season. And, you know, this isn't just one of the more mediocre, records that you just threw out there. This is looking to be one of the best teams that's ever played a single season in the NBA. And so whenever you're looking at all the body of work that they put out there, not only Steph Curry, I could rave about him all day and his accomplishments. But what I want to touch on is, Klay Thompson averaging 22 points this year a game. Draymond Green nearly averaging a triple-double with, 13 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and then 7 assists per game. This is a lot of team ball that they're doing. And, they played the Hawks on Tuesday without Stephen Curry and Andre Iguodala, and they were still able to find a way to come out with a win.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Draymond Green hit a big three in that one. Klay Thompson had a great game. Like you talked about, don't forget Harrison Barnes is a shooter. He's also a great defender as well. Iguodala, you already talked about him, a Finals MVP last year. Great defender. And I look at their losses to the Pistons, Nuggets, Bucks, Dallas, and Portland. The Dallas game was without Steph Curry in that one as well. The Bucks, they were already 23-0 or 24-0.
They came up that long night against Boston.
But when they play the elite teams, they step up their level of play. They're 10-0 against the Spurs, Clippers, Grizzlies, Thunder, and Cavs. And those are their closest competition. They've blown out the Cavs in Cleveland. When Cleveland came on Christmas, it was a close game. But I don't know, man. I mean, 73 wins, I think they get it. I think there's hands down, I think they can get that. I don't think there's really a team. But, look, don't get me wrong. Portland, I don't think that they can beat them. Okay, look, they're a 6th seed, but they got a great backcourt, McCollum and Lillard. And Lillard deserves some recognition for the MVP because he has played unbelievable this season carrying that team.
You've been preaching Lillard all year, and you're right to do so. But, just whenever you come to the grand scheme of things, obviously the Trailblazers will probably tie out around the first or second round.
Yeah.
But as for contenders against the Golden State Warriors, I mean, like you said, their record against them already speaks for itself. But the 3 teams that even have a shot, I believe, are the Spurs, Thunder, and Clippers, and they've been killing them all year.
Yeah, and I don't really see anybody. I mean, there's nobody that can guard Steph Curry. So.
Yeah. Moving on to the Eastern Conference, Kyle, who do you see as the biggest challenger to the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, I think you start with the 2nd seed. I think the Toronto Raptors are probably the closest team. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are a great backcourt. They both average over 20 points a game. I love Kyle Lowry. I love his play.
I do.
I liked him when he was in Houston. Now he's really getting to develop into a star. They get DeMar Carroll back. I think that they can make some noise. He has been out lately. They did beat Cleveland without him. So it'll be interesting to see. They have had some first-round exits, but no Paul Pierce. He does not play in the Eastern Conference no more with the Clippers. So I don't know. Maybe the Raptors. I think the Heat getting Joe Johnson was a big move to help them. I wish they had Chris Bosh healthy. I like the Celtics. I'm a believer in them. I'm not sure they can beat them in a 7-game series, but I don't really see many teams. The Cavaliers, even though they're probably not the best team in the NBA, they're the best in the Eastern Conference.
No doubt, no doubt. I just want to read down the list of the 8 standing seeds right now. We have Cleveland on top, followed by Toronto, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, Indiana, and then Detroit. I mean, just reading those names off, I don't even see anybody who's going to come playoff time be able to step up and guard LeBron James. I mean,
maybe if the Pacers got there with Paul George, but they don't have enough other pieces besides Paul George. I mean, unless Monte Ellis went insane in the playoffs.
Well, and he's not known to do that. Yeah. So, you can't put a lot of high hopes on that. But looking at these, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, granted, they may not have the best chemistry going right now and have not been throughout the season. But when it comes down to the playoffs, they're going to find a way to win. The best players will find a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's just not a team that's good enough to beat them in the East. They're not going to win the NBA Finals, but they're the best in the East.
On Monday, the annual NFL Combine came to an end. Kyle, who do you see going number 1 overall, and who are some other guys that can make an impact next season?
Well, the Tennessee Titans have the number 1 overall pick. I think they're going to go with an offensive lineman. I think that's what they need to. Laremy Tunsil is the best one available. They need somebody to protect Mariota. You already got your franchise quarterback.
Who got hurt last year because of the lack of protection.
And they need some other offense. They don't have a running back. Dexter McCluster, he's not a running back. I'm sorry. He's more of a hybrid wide receiver. He can make some plays, but they need some help offensively.
You know, he's a playmaker, no doubt, but just like you said, not a running back. And so I agree Larry Tunsil should be going number 1 overall. But some other big names in this draft, you got Jared Goff, probably going to be the number 1 QB taken, whether that be by Cleveland.
Sorry to say, you get on the Cleveland.
Yeah,
probably
I know.
One of you or Carson, one of you.
So, but another on the defensive side, I really like outside linebacker Miles Jack from UCLA.
Great talent,
You know, he plays a position with the intensity that you want a guy to have. He's got the intelligence. He knows how to shoot the gaps. And not to mention that, you know, he played both sides of the ball slightly for UCLA. So, you know, the kid can do it all.
Yeah, he was a beast in college. Heisman candidate before he was injured as well, too. So, you know, Tech baseball is in full swing. Billy, what are you expecting out of the Red Raiders this season?
Well, I'm expecting big things. You know, over the last couple of years, you know, Tech baseball has really been flourishing. Yeah. We've got, you know, we made the College World Series 2 years ago. Last year, you know, we kind of got snubbed from that. So, you know, this year moving forward, I really expect a lot of success coming out throughout this season.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, they got great talent. Like you said, 2 years removed from the College World Series. Like you said, I think they did get snubbed last year. They started number 4 overall last year. They're hovering around, you know, inside the top 25 right now. They had a great weekend at that tournament in Houston. Mm-hmm. They had a couple of big wins there. I think this is a team that makes the postseason. From that point on, it'll just depend how well they develop over the season. They got a young team, but they're led by Eric Gutierrez, a senior, and some other seniors on that team that can really help them. I'd like to see Tech baseball make another run to the College World Series. I hope they can do it again.
I hope so, too.
Well, tonight the Red Raider basketball team travels to Morgantown to take on the 10th-ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Billy, what does Tech need to do to still win on the road?
Well, when you're talking about West Virginia, one of the things that they do best is their full court press defense. Right. As you alluded to them earlier, press Virginia, as they call them. And, you know, just if the last time we kind of struggled throughout the game without being able to get through that, you know, picked it up later. But if we want to win tonight, I think breaking that press, that's just one of the biggest things that we need to take care of. Yeah,
and I think, like you said, the first half they really struggled against them the first time breaking the press. But Zach Smith did a good job of bringing the ball down, up and down the court last time. I'd really like to see Tech go in there and just continue to fight. I mean, there's no shame in losing at West Virginia. I'd like to see them win tonight. I was impressed with the way they played at the Fog. You could see how much they improved. They got down by 20, ended up only losing by 9. So I was impressed the way they came back in that game. They held Kansas under 70 twice. West Virginia scored about 80 last time they played them. So I think defense is big, protect the ball, and Aaron Ross have a big night. I think that's the key to success for Tech.
Sounds good.
Well, that's all. That's our show for this week's edition for the MCTV Sports 101. Join us next week for the latest big name stories in sports. I'm Kyle Stafford.
And I'm Billy Ingle. Till next time.